Imagine if you could live longer just by skipping a few meals. That's the promise of intermittent fasting, a health trend that has captured global attention, from Silicon Valley biohackers to ancient health philosophies. But beyond the buzz, does science really support the claim that intermittent fasting can extend lifespan? At its core, intermittent fasting, is not about what you eat, but when you eat. It involves cycling between periods of eating and fasting, ranging from daily time-restricted eating, like 16 hours of fasting followed by an 8-hour eating window, to alternate day fasting or longer fasts that last 24 hours or more. Unlike typical calorie restriction diets, intermittent fasting doesn't necessarily mean eating less, it means giving your body longer breaks between meals. And during those breaks, something remarkable appears to happen inside our cells. One of the key biological processes triggered by fasting is autophagy, literally self-eating. It's the body's cellular recycling system, breaking down and removing damaged or malfunctioning cellular components. Think of it as your body taking out the trash. When you're constantly eating, your body's focus is on digestion and energy storage. But when you fast, especially beyond 12 hours, your cells shift into maintenance mode. They begin to clean house, which not only improves cellular function but may also help prevent the buildup of toxic proteins associated with aging and neurodegenerative diseases. Animal studies have provided some of the most compelling evidence linking intermittent fasting to lifespan extension. In mice, alternate day fasting has been shown to increase lifespan by up to 30%. In one study, mice that fasted every other day lived longer and showed better health outcomes compared to mice that ate as much as they wanted whenever they wanted. These fasting mice didn't just live longer, they remained more agile, had fewer tumors, and retained better brain function as they aged. But before we get too excited, it's important to remember, mice are not humans. While animal studies offer promising insights, human biology is more complex, influenced by a tangle of genetics, lifestyle, environment, and stress. Still, early human studies on intermittent fasting show promising health benefits that could, over time, contribute to longer, healthier lives. One of the biggest contributors to aging and age-related diseases is insulin resistance, when the body stops responding effectively to insulin, leading to higher blood sugar levels. It has been shown to improve insulin sensitivity, lower fasting blood glucose, and reduce inflammation, all key markers associated with metabolic health. Some studies suggest that time-restricted eating may reduce blood pressure, improve lipid profiles, and promote fat loss, particularly visceral fat, which is closely linked to heart disease and type 2 diabetes. Beyond metabolism, intermittent fasting appears to have benefits for the brain. In both animals and humans, fasting boosts the production of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, BDNF, a protein that supports brain plasticity and resilience. Fasting also appears to increase mitochondrial efficiency and reduce oxidative stress, both of which are essential in slowing the aging process at the cellular level. But does all this translate into living longer? That's still the million-dollar question. While we don't yet have long-term, definitive data proving that intermittent fasting increases human lifespan, there are signs pointing in that direction. Centenarians in certain blue zones regions with a high concentration of people living over 100, don't necessarily fast by design, but many naturally eat within shorter windows. For instance, people in Okinawa, Japan traditionally consume fewer calories and often eat, during a limited part of the day, a natural form of time-restricted eating. It's not just about skipping meals, it's about triggering biological pathways that promote survival and repair. Fasting activates several of these, including reduced activity of mTOR, a protein that promotes growth, increased AMPK, which enhances energy balance, and upregulation of sirtuins, enzymes linked to DNA repair and anti-aging effects. These molecular shifts are the same ones seen in other longevity-promoting interventions, like exercise and caloric restriction. Still, intermittent fasting isn't a magic bullet, and it's not for everyone. Some people thrive on it, others may feel weak, irritable, or even gain weight if they overcompensate during eating windows. Women, in particular, may have different responses to fasting due to hormonal fluctuations, and some individuals with a history of eating disorders should avoid it altogether. It's always wise to consult a healthcare provider before diving into any extreme fasting protocol. Another challenge is sustainability. While short-term fasting can yield impressive metabolic changes, it's unclear if people can or should maintain such routines for decades. Longevity isn't just about biochemistry, it's also about mental and social well-being. If fasting makes you miserable, it's probably not contributing to a long, happy life. That said, intermittent fasting isn't just about living longer, it's about living better. People who practice it often report improved focus, more energy, better digestion, and even improved sleep. These quality-of-life improvements, though harder to measure than lab biomarkers, are invaluable in the quest for healthy aging. It's also worth noting that intermittent fasting is free and doesn't require fancy supplements or expensive superfoods. Unlike many anti-aging interventions, it's accessible to nearly anyone and aligns with ancient wisdom. Religious traditions incorporate forms of intermittent fasting, not just for physical health but for spiritual clarity and discipline. In a modern world of 24/7 snacking and food abundance, fasting offers a powerful reset, not just for the body but for our relationship with food. It reminds us that hunger isn't an emergency and that giving our digestive systems a break can unlock surprising benefits. So, does intermittent fasting really extend lifespan? The honest answer is, we don't fully know, yet. But the science is promising. At the very least, intermittent fasting can improve many of the markers that predict long-term health: insulin sensitivity, inflammation, mitochondrial function, and cognitive resilience. Whether that translates to an extra 10 years of life remains to be seen. But if those years are healthier, sharper, and more vibrant, isn't that already a win? As research continues to evolve, intermittent fasting remains one of the most intriguing and accessible strategies in the growing science of longevity. Whether you're aiming to live to 100 or just feel more alive today, skipping that next snack might be worth a try. Thanks for tuning in. If this video sparked your interest, feel free to give it a like, pass it along to someone who'd enjoy it, and let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear from you.